I had always been fascinated by the idea of unlocking human potential, specifically how we could break through the barriers of mental fatigue, procrastination, and lack of focus that seem to hold so many of us back. What if there was a way to tap into a hidden part of our brain, something that could push us beyond our normal limits and help us perform at a level that feels almost supernatural? This was the question I pondered over and over again, especially when I started hearing whispers about something called the genius wave. Now, before I tell you about my journey, let me backtrack just a bit. I've always considered myself someone who is somewhat successful in my own right, but like most people, I've struggled with maintaining focus for long periods of time. There were always distractions, both internal and external. Even on my best days, I would find myself slipping into that zone of procrastination where I couldn't get anything done, and I'd just stare at a blank screen or my to-do list, feeling overwhelmed. One day, I came across an intriguing concept, this idea of brainwave entrainment. It sounded a little too out there at first, honestly. Brainwave entrainment is the process of synchronizing your brainwaves to a particular frequency, allowing you to enter states that help with focus, relaxation, creativity, and much more. The idea is simple. Sound frequencies can actually influence the way your brain works. There are certain frequencies that can help you reach an optimal state for peak performance, creativity, and productivity. These frequencies, when used correctly, could quite literally rewire your brain for success. I was skeptical at first, of course. After all, this sounded like something you'd read about in a self-help book or see advertised online as the latest hack for success. But as I did more research, I discovered that a specific kind of brainwave entrainment, called the genius wave, was being used by high achievers, entrepreneurs, athletes, and successful people from all walks of life. These people seem to have discovered a way to tap into their genius-level potential by using sound frequencies to guide their brains into states of optimal performance. This wasn't just theory, it was based on solid science. The idea behind the genius wave is that it helps synchronize your brainwaves with specific frequencies that trigger enhanced mental clarity, sharper focus, and improved cognitive function. So after hearing so much about its potential, I decided to give it a try. I made a commitment to myself. I would use the genius wave for 30 days straight and track the results. No shortcuts, no skipping. I wanted to see firsthand if this really worked. On day one, I was excited but also a little unsure. I had heard so much about this technique, but would it actually live up to the hype? I plugged in my headphones and started listening to the frequency track designed to activate higher levels of focus and productivity. Within just a few minutes, I could already feel a slight shift. My mind, which usually bounced from task to task, felt more centered. It wasn't like a jolt or sudden burst of energy. It was subtler, like my brain had found its rhythm. There was a calm focus that I hadn't felt in a long time. And for the first time in ages, I actually wanted to dive into my work without the usual resistance. As the days went on, I noticed a gradual change. I began to enter these deep states of concentration where time seemed to slip away, and I was able to focus on the task at hand for hours without distraction. In the past, this was unheard of for me. I'd often get distracted by social media, emails, or just random thoughts that popped up. But now, with the genius wave, it was like those distractions just weren't there. My mind felt laser-focused. I could dive into my work and stay there, completely absorbed for hours on end. After about a week, I started noticing something else. My creativity was flowing more freely. I was coming up with new ideas, solutions to problems, and ways to improve my projects that I hadn't thought of before. I felt as though my brain was operating on a higher level, one that was more connected to my inner creativity and problem-solving abilities. Every time I encountered a challenge, I seemed to approach it with an almost effortless confidence. My thinking felt clearer, and my ability to connect the dots between different ideas and concepts was sharper than ever. But perhaps the most profound shift came in the second week. This is when I began to realize that the Genius Wave wasn't just improving my focus or creativity, it was also changing the way I handled stress. I had always prided myself on being able to juggle multiple tasks, but there were times when I'd get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things on my plate. It would create this low-level anxiety that would linger throughout the day, making it hard to stay productive. But with the Genius Wave, I felt this amazing shift in my emotional state. The usual pressure didn't seem as overwhelming. I could take on challenges with a calm demeanor, staying cool under pressure. It was like my brain had recalibrated itself to handle stress better, allowing me to make more rational decisions, even when things got intense. By week 3, I began to notice improvements in my memory and learning ability. I'm not sure if this was directly related to the Genius Wave or just the result of having more mental clarity and focus, but I could remember details better. I could recall information from meetings, conversations, and books I had read with greater precision. I found that I was able to absorb and process information faster than before. My learning speed had accelerated, and I was retaining knowledge in a way that felt almost effortless. By this time, I was starting to see how the Genius Wave was affecting every aspect of my life. It wasn't just a work tool, it was transforming my approach to everything. From personal goals to creative projects, my brain seemed to be firing on all cylinders. I felt more connected to my purpose, and everything seemed to flow more smoothly. As I entered the final week of my 30-day experiment, I was fully immersed in the benefits of the Genius Wave. I was waking up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to take on the day. I didn't experience the usual morning fog or sluggishness that used to plague me. Instead, I felt like I was starting each day with a clear head and a sense of purpose. And as the days went on, I could feel my energy levels remaining high throughout the day, without the usual energy crashes. I wasn't relying on caffeine or energy drinks to get me through. I was operating at a more balanced, sustainable level. The changes I experienced over the course of 30 days were remarkable. Looking back on my journey, it's hard to deny that the Genius Wave played a huge role in the transformation. It wasn't magic. It wasn't some overnight miracle, but it was a powerful tool that helped me tap into a higher level of mental performance. My focus, creativity, stress management, memory, and overall cognitive function improved in ways that were both noticeable and profound. Now here's the most exciting part. If you've ever wondered how some people seem to effortlessly perform at their best, always ahead of the game and in control, I can tell you that it's not just about luck or raw talent. It's about optimizing your brain. The Genius Wave is a tool that can help you unlock your true potential, just like it did for me. It's not about changing who you are, it's about enhancing what's already there. If you're ready to take your mental performance to the next level, I challenge you to try it for yourself. Give it a shot for 30 days, just like I did. Experience the shift in your focus, creativity, stress levels, and learning abilities. And when you see the results, I'd love to hear from you. Share your journey in the comments, and let's build a community of high achievers who are tapping into their true potential. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more insights on how you can optimize your brain, boost your performance, and unlock the next level of success. There's a lot more to explore, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Your journey toward peak performance starts now. Let's do this together.